There are moments in life when it is prudent to sacrifice to self in the best interests and the good of others, especially people who are around you and the general public. The recent rescinding of the appointment of innocent individuals in the different GFF standing committees is reprehensible, deplorable, and inexcusable. Very innocent individuals have had their appointments in the different GFF standing committees rescinded of late because they are perceived to have supported the Team Restore Confidence that is led by my humble self, Sadibou Kamaso. In an act of solidarity and in defiance to these acts that are of unquenchable dictatorial actions, I have decided to submit my resignation to the Gambia Football Federation Executive as member of the GFF Executive and all other standing committees of the GFF. I'm sure some of you would be wondering, why now? Why didn't he resign sooner? Yes, I didn't resign sooner because I believe I was there to serve the general public in the best interest of our nation. I was there to raise the red flag when the need arose and to bring certain issues to the attention of the executive where I felt was necessary, because it was best for me to be there to serve football. But it has gotten to a point where people are being punished just because they're exercising their fundamental rights and democratic rights. We live in a democratic society. And of course, everybody has a choice to associate themselves with anybody. To say people should be sacked just because they support my candidature is deplorable, and I totally condemn this. Again, in an act of defiance and in a show of solidarity to these individuals, I have decided to submit my resignation today and not to serve in any of the bodies unless and until these individuals have been returned back to their positions. I myself, I had my appointment in the procurement committee rescinded because that appointment was done by the president. The procurement committee is not a standing committee in the GFF constitution. But one thing I do want to make clear, the appointment of people in these standing committees is done with the approval of the Gambia Football Federation executive. Therefore, their removal should be done within the same procedure. They have to be sent to the executive and reasons given why they must be removed to be discussed and agreed upon, rather than one individual taking unilateral decisions and removing them. What is the reason? Every removal reasons have to be given. I received the letter to say my appointment was rescinded as chairman of the procurement committee by a decision of the executive, but I wrote back to say I still serve as executive committee member at the time, and I do not remember the executive meeting at any point in time to discuss this. The letter was rectified to say the president has decided to rescind my appointment in the procurement committee. Yes, that was a committee he had established himself. But I still serve in different committees that I know I cannot be removed unless an executive decision is taken at the executive level. The same vein, Mr. Mamadou Sow, who is the president of the Banjul Football Region, was also removed from the match scheduling, a letter he received because he appeared at the launching of the starting 11. And recently, two very hard-working gentlemen, Mr. Salifu and Haruna, were both removed from the security and the referees committee for reasons best known to the individual who carried out the said rescinding. I urge people, and I also urge the GFF leadership, to avoid decisions that are of dictatorial or tyrannical in nature and ensure the democratic principles that we all envisage are utilized to run our football in the best interests of the country, for the good of our game and country. Again, in an act of defiance, I have decided to submit my resignation to Mr. Haruna and Salifu. I stand with you, and I want to assure you I am with all of you throughout. And to any other person who feels threatened that your services will be terminated or your appointment will be rescinded, feel free to come to the Team Restore Confidence, and we assure you we will take this matter up to the end. Thank you.